What's good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock, what you should be looking out for tomorrow. I'm also going to break down why tomorrow is going to be a massive day as we have the big stock split coming. So I'm going to talk about everything you need to know about it, where Tesla may open for tomorrow, and what may end up happening to the price action based off historical data, and what's going on with the overall market as well. Before I break anything down for Tesla, before I talk about the stock split, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Don't take any of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed 12 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And you can always sell these 12 free stocks for cash and use that cash to buy some Tesla shares for free. It's a limited time offer. The offer ends in a little under a week. Please check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So Tesla had a very, very strange day today. I did anticipate a big move to the upside, and we got that. We went from being in the 860s all the way up to filling this gap that I was talking about, forming this inverse head and shoulders, and we completed it essentially. We filled the gap up here. We actually ended up topping around that 910 range, and I actually thought we could go a little bit higher to about 915, 920. We didn't actually go that high. Then we ended up actually dropping, like I said we could, going into the end of the day, but we didn't actually close above 900, and I actually thought we would. We ended up closing at 891, so a little bit lower than I thought, but overall we did see that big explosive move, and we are seeing some excitement from a lot of investors. Now, why are people so excited? Well, we have the big stock split for tomorrow, but Tesla didn't move in as much of a bullish manner as some people would have expected. But overall, here's what you need to know. So when we have the stock splits, all right, it doesn't necessarily change a ton of things fundamentally, or anything fundamentally, so to speak. It does change the perceived value and other things like that. So Tesla closed at $891.29 a share. What does this mean for tomorrow? Tomorrow, you're going to look at your Tesla portfolio, and you're going to see Tesla opening at $297 and about 10 cents per share. So this is a 3-for-1 stock split. What this means is each Tesla share is going to be 1/3 the value as where it was today, but you're going to get 3 times the shares. So you're not losing any money, but we are going to see a change in the psychological aspect of this stock. Now, it's going to be very close to 300 when it opens. How it performs depends on the overall market, but there is some historical data that could give us a very good understanding and idea of what it could do. So let's actually first look at Tesla from back in 2020. All right, back in August, let me actually go all the way back for you guys. Back in August, we had the stock split, right? Back in 2020, Tesla had a 5-for-1 stock split, and this thing was trading very, very high, right? Remember, this thing was like at 2,000 a share. It actually came rallying into this day. It was just rallying up and up and up and up. Then we had the split, and this thing came tumbling down here, but it actually didn't tumble down. Right? It looks like it did, but it didn't actually do that. All that happened was there were 5 times as many shares as before, and each one was worth 1/5 the value. So sure, the share price did become lower, but it gave it more room to actually push to the upside. It changed the psychological effect. It made options a lot cheaper, so it did have a big effect on the stock. And what happened to Tesla was this, all right? Right after, it actually had 4 green days in a row. It pushed from, the open was around 448. It pushed from the 440, 450 range all the way up to about $500. And once it hit $500, the psychological aspect of it led to a big change. It started to dump from 500, it went all the way down to $330 a share. So the thing came tumbling down really hard after that. Right, a huge hit after that. And if you look at Amazon just had their split very, very recently. You're going to notice something else very interesting about it. So this is Amazon's split. I think Amazon gives us better context of what could end up happening to Tesla, because the market was pretty bearish in June. We started to see the SPY take a bit of a hit. I'm sure you guys remember that. And here's what happened to Amazon. Amazon had their split. I think it was like a 20-for-1 split or whatever. But anyways, it pushed up and up to about 2,500. It closed very close to that. It opened during the split date, which was back in June 2022, just a couple of months ago. This thing opened at, let's see, $125 a share. It ended up pushing up and closing at 127. So it pushed up for one day, traded sideways, but as the market was taking a hit, it already got that rally into its open. It started to drop and drop and drop, and it tumbled all the way down to $100 a share. So a huge drop came from Amazon after that. However, despite that, despite the drop, after like a little over a month, when the market started to recover, when things started to improve, this thing rallied to what would be its all-time high, right? Above where it was before. So we could see Amazon ended up pushing up eventually, just as Tesla did after it split. But what's happening to Tesla now? We could see when Tesla announced their split not that long ago, Tesla did actually dump in the beginning because the whole market was just choppy. But then we got a nice rally into about $944. We did come down, push up a bit. So we were basically trading sideways. And for that reason, I think that there are two main possibilities here. I think Tesla's going to open right at $297, and it may do something very similar. We might get a push to the 300s. I think there might be a lot of FOMO kind of coming in, a lot of investors wanting to buy those dips. People are getting very excited. That could be part of the reason why the FOMO wasn't that crazy. But then, with the whole market acting the way it is, and based off historical data, based off what happened to Shopify and Amazon and Tesla in the past, I wouldn't be surprised if Tesla actually dumps for the short term. So maybe tomorrow Tesla closes green, maybe for Friday. Going into next week, maybe we're kind of okay for some time, but slowly I see Tesla coming down into the mid to high 200s. It's going to start off at 297. Remember, I can see it coming down. I'm not going to chart it just yet because we want to actually see the chart first. We want to see it adjust first before we can actually do that. But I do see it coming down. All right. I do see some downside coming for it. And I think it's very likely because we did have a slight rally, it's not the biggest rally, but a slight rally going into this event. But I do think there's going to be a bit of a hit because if we look at what happened to it recently, the volume was 18 million for the day. The average volume should be like 27 million. So we're still pushing on low volume, not very strong. If you look at the shorts volume percentage, we actually saw the short volume percentage a little bit lower temporarily, but during these phases where it's down, we could actually see a spike all the way back up where the sellers gain the edge and short sellers end up coming back in. Now, another thing that concerns me about Tesla is this. Not necessarily a concern, but more like something you should know if you want to play to the upside. There is something you need to know. That is, if you look at its price comparison, we're actually seeing its beta going up in an upward trend right now, which means it's a lot more sensitive or a lot more volatile relative to the market. And we can see right now there's this heavy correlation between it and SPY. SPY is starting to come down a bit. And Tesla, in turn, is most likely going to start coming down with SPY if we do see the downside that appears to be happening. Because if you look at SPY in the overall market, if you look at SPY, it's not looking the best. That's just the easiest way for me to put it. It's clearly stair-stepping its way down like this. It's trying to hold above 411. So I see some action between 411 and maybe 415. But other than that, it's going to come down. That's my honest opinion. I see it coming down to like 409, maybe lower than that. Still looking kind of bearish in my opinion. So I do see it heading towards the lower 400s. We're respecting a downtrend. It's very clear right now. We are trying to fight this. Some buyers are kind of coming in, but the volume just isn't there. It's not looking as strong. So I do anticipate over the next couple of weeks, we do see some downside. Could we get a MACD crossover right here? Maybe it pushes up a little bit, but I do see more downside still over the next week or so. So I'm not just talking about tomorrow. I'm talking about over the next week, couple of days. I do see some more downside to come. On the daily, we still have this bearish momentum from the MACD. The histograms are looking kind of bearish. They're still getting bigger. RSI is coming down. SPY is still looking kind of bearish. For Tesla, we did get a bit of a push to the upside thanks to this event. But overall, it's starting to show signs of a downtrend right now. We did actually see some potential for that based off MACD and also its RSI. So I I don't think it's going to just crash or anything like that immediately. We could push up a little bit thanks to the stock split, some buying coming in. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually touch maybe like 300, maybe the low 300s. But then after that, downside seems imminent. Once again, it happened to Shopify, it happened to Amazon, it happened to Tesla back in like 2022. It's probably going to happen again, in my opinion. Downside a little bit later after the split. Now, for the split, some people will be excited, and I'm personally very excited because we have a very, very good buying opportunity. This is an opportunity to buy them at a different psychological level. And although it's not a fundamental improvement to the company, the perceived value changes. All right. Tesla running up $100 is going to be a massive change to its market cap. Before, it wasn't as massive. So smaller moves by Tesla in terms of the dollar amount are going to account for even more volatility now. So for example, for Tesla to run like 10% to the upside right now, this thing would have to jump $89. When this thing is trading at like, I don't know, $300 after the split, for it to go up 10%, it has to go up just $30. So a big psychological change will be there. And I think the cheaper options are going to be very enticing for a lot more retail investors. Lots of doors are going to be open. So I do see this as a good thing for the price action. This could allow a lot more gamma to come in. So maybe when Tesla gets those squeezes, we see even more violent moves to the upside. And historically, stock splits tend to work very well for strong companies with very good fundamentals. Apple and Google are the epitomes of this. And not necessarily Google, more like Apple, but also for Amazon. Like I told you guys, Amazon actually made a full recovery from its big drop. You guys can see right here after the split, full recovery was made by Amazon over time. And I really believe that Tesla has the potential to do the same thing, but it's going to take a little bit of time to actually get there. So just to make this clear, let me use the daily candles. And you can see after Amazon had its split, it's not necessarily the end of the world. I think this chart's now like adjusted. But anyways, you understand my point. So for Amazon, I do see this thing I did see this thing actually see signs of a recovery. It could actually come down. It's actually looking kind of bearish too. And the whole market looks like it's going to make very, very similar moves. But with that said, anyways, guys, thank you all for listening. Please remain calm, cool, and collected. Do what you have to do. And don't fall for FOMO too often. All right. Sometimes FOMO is great. You could get in, you could scalp, you could be a momentum trader temporarily. But sometimes if you get into FOMO at the wrong time, it could really lead to downside or mess you up. So be very careful with that. And always remember, do not chase. You gotta hunt. Sometimes chasing is okay, but typically you gotta hunt for those big plays. You gotta hunt for that good opportunity. Don't just chase. Anyways, thank you all for listening. Be ready, do what you have to do, remain calm, cool, and collected, and get ready for the split. I do anticipate some upside maybe in the very beginning, followed by more downside for the short term going into maybe like next week or the week after. So that's essentially my view. Do what you have to do. Be ready for anything, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Tesla to the moon because the long-term future is bright, and peace out.